Greetings, my name is Nelson Delgado. I'm an energy psychologist who practices the emotion code and body code healing modality. And if you're not sure what that is, you can learn more about it down below. The next emotions that I'll be speaking that are related to fear have to do with some sort of injustice or betrayal. And that's jealousy and envy. Now the two aren't identical because they both carry different questions. And when it comes down to jealousy, the question is what has been betrayed and what must be restored or healed. And generally jealousy can be, well, sometimes it's oftentimes related to relationships and how relationships, which are based on trust, maybe there was if there's an agreement made or a contract made, then it makes sense for jealousy to surface if someone has crossed the line or hasn't, what's the word for it, honored the agreement that was spoken or written. And so, for example, if it was relationship oriented, if someone took advances from another person while you're in a relationship with them and didn't object or set a boundary to prevent that from happening, or at least inform the individual that that behavior was not acceptable, and that you or they didn't inform the individual that they were with you or that they were with someone or had loyalty or an agreement with somebody that they cared about, and that would be a betrayal of the trust that was developed. So with jealousy, it's an important emotion. It's not a negative emotion. However, again, like all emotions, if we let them go too far, what ends up happening is that it leads to constant states of suspicion where trust cannot be restored, where the person who's been hurt will always suspect the other person that they care about that they will not fulfill their part of the agreement. And as a result, if there's no trust, it's very difficult to stay in a relationship because the person who's now not trusted or no longer trusted will constantly have to prove themselves all the time and always feel that sense of guilt or shame, even though they've done the necessary work to change any behavior or to minimize the potential for a repeat experience where the person who feels betrayed is betrayed again. So jealousy is important it's like a social radar. It reminds us that we have to talk to each other, that we have to heal by communication, that we have to reestablish and bring more clarity to what behavior can no longer continue, what has to change, so that one or both parties can feel safe in the relationship, knowing that they won't be hurt by someone else's potentially selfish or ignorant actions. So it's important for us to really appreciate that jealousy is trying to send us a message saying, do they know that that does not feel right to me? Do they know that when they allow that to happen, it hurts? And what do I also have to heal from so that I'm not constantly suspecting somebody of making the same mistakes over and over again, even though they're making the effort to change any behavior that needs to be changed, including our own. So it's not just trust in others, it's also being able to give someone another chance, and if they make good on that opportunity to change the behavior, that we can restore faith in them and encourage them and appreciate them and acknowledge their efforts and reward them with further trust. But always knowing that if your social radar turns on again, it's always important for you to get in touch with the person and make sure that they know how you're feeling, or you're getting a sense that something's up and you would love to find out how things are going and if everything's okay. And if they need to open up and talk about any unhappiness or displeasure that they have in regards to any relationship or friendship that they have with you, in order to make sure that friendship remains strong and is supported by a sense of respect, honor, integrity, and compassion, so that we know that we can address each other's needs, and that know that will be reciprocated in kind moving forward. Now, in terms of envy is different because it's more of like a social injustice. For example, if there's economic inequality, which there is, envy is there for us to help us trigger a need to respond so that we can make the necessary choices and to voice our displeasure, voice our concern, voice our displeasure with the lack of harmony or balance, whether it be through treatment or whether it be through maybe any type of injustice, gender injustice, racial injustice, any type of injustice. And so when we do that, what we're doing is we are trying to make things right, and we are sharing in our feelings about what seems to be wrong and getting feedback from others. So what can we do about it in order to make things right together, whether it be through protest or whether it be through activism or whether it be through voting or whether it be through community efforts. Because when we voice our opinion, when we take part in polls, when we get together in groups and we voice our passion about what we don't like that's happening in our world, we can then gather and create a momentum that can push a result into the favor of for everyone's benefit. And that's what we want to try and create, something that works for everybody. So envy, when used correctly, isn't a bad emotion. None of them are bad. They're just trying to help us ask those questions. What's wrong and what needs to be made right? And with jealousy, who's been hurt and what needs to be healed, and what agreements need to be made in order to facilitate a healthy and strong relationship or bond that limits or minimizes potential betrayal. So hopefully this video was very informative for you, helps you understand the benefits of envy and jealousy as relative fears from being hurt, from any injustice, and to avoid heartbreak, and to avoid even related emotions that could be shame or guilt in regards to wrongdoings. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please like the video. If you Subscribe if you like as well. Tell your friends, share this with your friends. And you can visit any of my other channels, my website, Instagram, Facebook, so on and so forth if you like. And I appreciate any feedback that you have on these emotions. This is all from what I've learned from some of the work that Carl McLaren's provided with the language of emotions, art of empathy, embracing anxiety, and how emotions can mix together. And the next one in terms of fear is going to be touching upon a sadness emotion as well. I'm going to talk about how depression and anxiety can be an endless loop, and how to help minimize and mitigate the potential for getting sucked into that loop and having it more difficult to get out of it. And thank you very much for watching this lengthy video. I appreciate the time you spent with me today, and I look forward to providing you more videos in the future. Take care, and have a wonderful day.